Welcome back to Peek Into Our Week. My name's Kate Hertz. I work at Visit Colorado Springs as the Content Coordinator. I am sitting here with Kimberly Gold. Kimberly, introduce yourself to these folks.
Hi, friends and neighbors, visitors, everybody. My name is Kimberly Gold. I'm the president and CEO of the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce. But more importantly, I am a lover of Colorado Springs.
I love to hear that. So in honor of Black History Month, me and Kimberly are sitting down to chat through some Colorado Springs Black history and gab about some of our favorite Black-owned businesses in our community around the Pikes Peak region. February may be coming to an end. By the time this comes out, February is probably already over, but the great news about these businesses is that you can support them year-round. But before we start, we want to let listeners know what we're kind of munching on today. We grabbed some lemon sorbet from Caffeinated Cow, a local Black and veteran-owned business here in the Springs. They serve up coffee, breakfast, lunch, but most importantly, ice cream. They source their coffee locally from the Springs, and the ice cream is fresh churned and delivered daily from Denver, and it is so good. Let's jump right into it. Colorado Springs, from the beginning, has a really unique history with our founder, General William Jackson Palmer. He was speaking out against segregated institutions and slavery as early as 1865. You want to talk more about that, Kimberly, while I take a bite of this sorbet?
Yes. Well, I wasn't around in 1865, but what I can tell you is I am fascinated by General Palmer because he was a Quaker, and Quakers is an arm of Christianity that believes in nonviolence, and so they do not join the military historically. Mm-hmm. But General Palmer believed that segregation, slavery was so egregious that he actually stepped away from that religious principle of nonviolence to join the military to fight against slavery. That's
real.
That is
super fascinating, and just dedication to the cause. I went on a historic walking tour. He was like disowned from his family and his community, but he was so about this cause that it didn't matter. He was fighting for freedom, and that's as far as like historical figures go, I'm all about that.
Yes. And so to me, that really tells the way that we have, he intended to shape Colorado Springs to be a very inclusive city. And I believe, maybe he was the originator of Fannie Mae Duncan's Everybody's Welcome. Mm-hmm. And then Fannie Mae Duncan kept that baton moving. And it's up to us now to keep that baton continuing forward into the future.
So well said. That segues perfectly into the next historical figure I wanted to talk about, Fannie Mae Duncan. If you're not aware, Fannie Mae was a major Colorado Springs figure. She was a Black female entrepreneur who opened a jazz club called the Cotton Club here in the Springs, and they had huge acts including Louis Armstrong, Etta James, B.B. King, and like Kimberly just said, the slogan was everybody welcome. It was not a segregated business. Anyone could come in and enjoy some really incredible music. It was really, really, it was fantastic.
Pun intended. She's incredible, right? And I think that if you come to Colorado Springs, you absolutely must pay homage. Yeah, that word. You must pay homage to her and go visit this beautiful mural off of Platt that just showcases her beauty. She's also at the Pikes Peak. Why do I always mess the name up? Here downtown, the fabulous venue that we always hold.
Pikes Peak Center?
Yes. Look, I just needed one more word. Pikes Peak Center. She's also there. And speaking of statues, I always want to shout out William Seymour. Mm-hmm. William Seymour stands, and actually he sits on a bench in front of the Pioneers Museum, and he is such an unsung hero in our community. He was the first Black juror in El Paso County, and that's major, right? And he stands watch. No, he sits watch on the bench in front of Pioneers Museum. And whenever I walk past him, I always give him a little handshake. Hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. And I just really want to honor him because that is such a big part of being part of a juror. That's our civic duty, an obligation, a right to honor our people and our system and to be integrated in that process. It's a big deal.
Awesome. Super cool that we honored him. I honestly didn't know who that statue was commemorating, so I'm so glad to know that now, and now I'm going to shout him out whenever I can. A lot of people credit Fannie Mae Duncan, as we were talking about, among others, for compared to the rest of the country, a fairly peaceful integration and transition during the civil rights era of Colorado Springs, which is really, really fascinating and might go against some kind of reputation, some reputation things that Colorado Springs definitely had at the time. It's just really fascinating that we had these figures and this founder who were really dedicated to the cause that many people might not know about. If you want to learn more Colorado Springs Black history, we definitely recommend that you check out the Any Place That Is North and West exhibit at the Colorado Springs Pioneers Museum. And there's also lots of great Black history sprinkled into their 50% of the story exhibit and their Story of Us exhibit. So go check it out. Admission is free. With all of that being said, we are now going to take some time to brag about some of our favorite Black-owned businesses around the Pikes Peak region, because, as we said, February may be over, but you can go here any time of year. So some food and beverage restaurant places. What are you thinking, Kimberly? Where do you like to go?
Well, one, I have to say so many accolades for Caffeinated Cow because this lemon sorbet is amazing. And if you are like me, you have sensitivities to different things. And this is a vegan, dairy-free sorbet. So I'm very thankful to be included in my dietary choices and needs in being able to enjoy food, because it's rough sometimes when you go places and you can't enjoy anything and you're the odd person out. Like, let me just stand here with a cup of water. So very thankful for Caffeinated Cow giving a wonderful dairy selection and a dairy-free selection.
My next recommendation may not be so dairy-free friendly, but the Mactory. I cannot stay away from the Mactory. Are you familiar with them?
They are so good.
They're so good.
They're so good. And sometimes they are worth the pain.
I'm saying I have a lot of dairy-free folks in my life, and I'm saying, like, if you have a day where you're going to cheat a little bit, get some of this gourmet mac and cheese. Their birria mac and cheese.
Yes.
Low-key, changed my life.
So good. I think I've had, we had a thing with some friends, and she brought a platter of so many mac and cheeses, and I took my medicine and I said, I'm going to enjoy this. It was so good. I think I tried a pizza mac and cheese. I think I tried like a taco mac and cheese. I tried the birria mac and cheese. Oh, okay, let's go. I think I need to take some medicine and go today.
They're too close. It's dangerous for me. Have you been to, I'm going to say this name very carefully so as not to get in trouble, Faux King Wing?
I haven't been there yet, but I've heard nothing but good things about them. They're on my list. Wings and pho, like that's like a total wing, like total wing. Yeah, that's a total win and wing, a wing win,
a wing wing win. Yeah, I go there quite a bit. Had them for dinner the other night. As you can imagine, they've got pho and wings, but they have one of the most diverse menus I've ever seen, which at many restaurants I'd say, can you pull all this off? Because they got, the Vietnamese food, they got wings, they've got gyros. Sometimes they have Mexican food. They have barbecue, they have Southern food. So when I first walked in, I was like, I don't know. Everything I've had from them, they knock it out of the park. So they really can do it all.
There's so many good Black-owned restaurants in Colorado Springs. Gosh, I hope that folks go and research, because we can't name everyone. But I really love Taste of Ethiopia. Have you been there? Oh my gosh, it's so good. And the food is good and the venue is beautiful. Really? The art in the venue is incredible, sourced straight from Ethiopia. They even do the Ethiopian coffee, like the traditional. It's so delicious. And downtown Colorado Springs, we have Owambe for Nigerian food.
How is that? I've been meaning to go.
It's very, very good. And I claim Nigerian. And actually, I refuse to do the 23andMe because I don't want it to say not Nigerian.
Let's just say.
But I am a Yoruba queen by choice. And the food is fantastic.
And it looks really cool in there.
It does. It's also another beautiful venue.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely on my list as well. I haven't been to the Kamayan Hideaway yet. I've been to
it's good.
Leia's.
It's good.
So Jalea, the owner, I went to high school with her little sister, and we were really good friends. And I was at that house all the time. I was eating that lumpia before before the whole community was, so I can vouch it is excellent. Where is the Kamayan Hideaway?
It is a satellite hotel in the southeast. So you park, walk in, to the right a little bit. It's right there. There's, oh my gosh, Leia is a gem in our community because of the way she gives her spirit and because of the way she feeds us literally, right? But I cannot speak enough about her food. And in this economy, she's got such a reasonable price point too.
Right. Totally. Also next on my list. We can move on from restaurants because you're right. We could probably talk literally all day about that.
And I'm getting hungry.
And I have to restrain myself from this sorbet so I can keep holding my microphone. But next category is just kind of like shopping / fun stuff to do, places you can go, hang out and do stuff. One of the first that comes to mind is Anthem. It's Anthem Music Enterprises and Anthem Live Studios. They do music production, but I go there for their dance classes. I've got a heels class coming up tomorrow night. Really much looking forward to it. But yeah, the owners are super cool, really care about the community and artists in town. I love that.
Yes, Terry Josiah and Kristen Faith are another gem, that's that words. They're not working. They're also gems in our community as well. And we stand for Anthem for sure. And I also would have to shout out Colorado Springs Black Connections. That is a Facebook group, but as we know, our world is changing. The way we do business is changing. So Colorado Springs is a Facebook group and a business, and they host different events throughout the year to include Trap Bingo. And if you haven't done Trap Bingo,
where are they holding this?
I think they're having one in March or April of this year, 2025, and they host them at different venues throughout the city. And it is bingo meets like R&B, trap music, hip hop, like old school. It is the most fun. I always joke because I'm in my 40s now, so my bedtime is a little earlier, and I'm like, you know what? Save me an auntie's table. I will be there when you guys open. I'm not staying the whole night though.
But you're showing up. Yeah, another group I haven't gotten to go out with them yet, but I'd really like to connect with them is Blackpackers.
Oh, yes.
For those of you who don't know, they are a nonprofit, and they're just all about equity and access in the outdoors, because there is kind of a misconception thing that gets pushed of like the outdoors and hiking is like white people stuff. When it's not, it's about we need to like increase access and lower the barriers. And so they have like just group hikes and group expeditions, and it just seems like a really great community, and just really great people to connect with. I don't know if you've...
They are. Patricia Cameron, who leads that, is incredible. We have so many people who really pour their passion and their heart into our community, and we see that through organizations like Blackpackers. And I have been so busy over the last few years that I haven't been able to enjoy, but I push out her information because what they're doing is really amazing. And they have lower entry hikes for those who, like me, need something easier to get into. They have things where they can teach you how to camp, and you actually go out and do it. Cool. All the tools that you need to learn and enjoy in real time.
Totally. Yeah, and sort of pivoting more into events and stuff that people can enjoy. I was looking, and Poetry 719, they're also a local nonprofit. They are having some really fun events coming up in May. Normally they have their sort of We Do Stuff festival, and that comprises a bunch of different events, usually in October, but they've got a couple fun open mics and poetry readings coming up in May that I'm really looking forward to. Juneteenth festival, as you can imagine. It's dope. It's going to be in America, the Beautiful Park this year. Love it.
Yes, Juneteenth is always a win. We love One Body ENT for bringing that cultural aspect to our city. And, people are always asking, there's not that many Black folks in Colorado Springs. And I'm like, yes, population-wise, we're like 6%. And we are busy, and we are active, and we are building community. And I want people to know that there is space to enjoy your identity. And I also want other people to know that Black organizations, Black businesses, Black events, Black culture, Black programming does not mean Black only. Because in the spirit of Black History Month, Black history is American history. This is literally telling the story of when we as Black Americans have been able to have equal rights, equal access. And that is something as American people we should all be proud of.
Absolutely. Well said. And I think that pivots great into my next point of let's talk about the work that the Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce does for our local businesses and business owners. How can people get involved if they hear this and are interested in connecting?
Sure. The Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce has been around since 1992, founded by retired Colonel Jim Stewart, who was a pilot in the United States Air Force. He saw a need, and there was, because we still have a Black Chamber. What is that? Math is not mathing. 33 years later. And it's such an honor to lead the Black Chamber with so many other volunteers. We are 100% volunteer. So one way to get involved is to volunteer. If you're passionate about supporting Black-owned businesses and enhancing equitable measures and reducing barriers, come volunteer with us. One of the things I'm really, really excited about that we are launching this year is a Black Business Directory. Ooh. So this Black Business Directory is actually free to join. You can find out more information on our social media. Everything's Colorado Springs Black Chamber of Commerce. And what an excellent resource for those looking to support Black-owned businesses. And I want to say something when it comes to Black-owned businesses. Again, Black-owned does not mean Black only. And we live in a time of intersectionality, right? Being Black truly does not mean Black only. There is Black and, right? We are Black and Colorado Springs. We are Black and military. I am Black and Asian. We are Black and parents, or Black and or Black and child free. You know, like there's so much intersectionality, and I want people to understand that we can honor identity, we can honor culture, and that doesn't mean we're taking away from anything else. We are adding to the fabric of our community.
Very well said. I think that's a really great point to leave off. Thank you so much for joining me, Kimberly. This has been such a great conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening and for watching. Get out there and support these businesses. You will not regret it, I promise. Have a great day. Thank you.